Welcome back, everybody.
Awesome. So you're in the cistern, and you're having a chat with Sparrows of the Hunters. Take it away.
Can I? Adair asks where we can find Grom's shop.
So you're asking Sparrows, right?
Yes.
So Sparrows says, so if you head out to Southgate, his shop is just on the outskirts of the wall, of the Great Wall which surrounds the city. You'll find him easy enough. Grom's Antiques is the name of the store.
Southgate. Oh.
Yeah, there's an area in the city which is called Southgate. So if you head out to Southgate, just on the outskirts of the wall. So, sorry, I'm going to drag you across to another screen on Roll20 now, and you can have a look at the map of the actual city itself. So the area of Southgate. So basically this sort of area here.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
If we find another agent, how will we know they're one of us? How do we know who we can trust?
Oh, I think Gus has frozen.
I thought he was leaving me on a long pause there. Yeah.
Oh wow! Sorry, I just lost my connection. Basically, he wants to have drinks with you. There we go. So you can stay for drinks, or it's up to you.
I don't think you heard.
Oh, you didn't hear what I said?
No. What did you say?
Here we go. Breaker asks, if we meet another agent, how will we know we can trust him?
Look for the symbols. That's how you know. But be very careful on the surface. If you show these to the wrong people, it could mean almost certain death.
How about that drink?
Of course, mate.
I'm still standing. We haven't had enough.
So he says once again, he's like, Grunner, bring us more drinks. This time bring the rum. And he's bringing over bottles of dark brown liquid, which you hope is rum. And yeah, they all start downing it, and you kind of like the mood, starts picking back up in the cistern among the group. They all start chatting again. They're all drinking, getting the fire stoked, getting more food ready. They're all like eating and making merry and just having a good time.
Anyone playing any dice?
There's always people playing dice. If you'd like to join in with dice games, you are more than welcome to.
Should we have a round of dice?
Yeah, Elias can't resist.
Adair's never played before. Should like to try.
Neither has Yuey.
Okay, well, so you want to join in a game of dice?
Sure, why not?
Okay, well, the way that we ran the rules last time was basically dice poker, right? So as you'd play poker, you'd have pairs, 3 of a kind, 2 pairs, etc. Right? Those are the scoring dice, and you'd have rounds of wagering. So if that's what you'd like to play, you can join in with a game of dice with these soldiers.
Did I just roll a flush?
Let's have a look.
No.
You win.
No,
you rolled.
I didn't have a 3. Yeah, so I got a pair.
Okay.
Pair of 5s.
Okay, so you find a group of these soldiers, all right? So you find a group of these soldiers. There's two chaps playing dice. They're more than willing to take your money off you. Of course they are. They're soldiers. So the buy-in is going to be 1 denarii each, and then you will have rounds of wagering. So if you'd like to buy in for 1 denarii, you can, and whoever would like to play, please feel free.
I don't actually think Yuey would play dice, so he's going to hold off. He's going to observe instead.
Yeah, actually, then again, I don't think Adair would either, if there's money going around.
Okay, so are you just casually watching and observing while Breaker and Elias kind of like force themselves into this dice game and just grab the dice and start rolling?
Yep. Pretty much.
Okay, so these soldiers are like one eyebrow raised, but they're kind of like, okay, they're just going along with it. And you all start rolling dice. You all put your denaries in. The dice are rolling. The drink is flowing. People are eating. You're kind of gathering a crowd because you guys have joined in with this dice game. So more and more of these soldiers like gathering around to like watch what's going on. And you can even see some of the soldiers like muttering to each other, like placing wagers on actually among themselves who's going to win this game. So let's go for it. Let's do a round of dice. So tell me what you got. So Breaker got 1 pair.
I've got 2 pairs.
Okay, you got 2 pairs. The first soldier, what did you get? You got one pair threes, and then. So how did we play this last time? We chose what to re-roll, correct? We chose what to keep, what to re-roll, and then have another round, as far as I recall.
Yeah.
Okay, so pick what you'd like to keep, and then pick the dice that you'd like to re-roll. If you'd like to match the bet, you can. They're all putting in another silver piece because they want to take your money off you. Clearly.
Matches.
Yeah.
Rick is going to re-roll his 2 and 4.
Okay. You just need to keep track. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna lose this one.
5's high.
I'm gonna re-roll my 6. Hey, full house.
Okay, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Because why not? Got to put on the appropriate theme, right? Okay, so you're all rolling dice. So what did you get? Remind me. So Breaker, you've got 2 pairs.
I've got a full house.
Okay. Well, I'm going to re-roll 5 3. So I'm going to re-roll.
I think that the audience noise is quite loud in the background.
Jeez, okay. Hang on, yeah. How's that?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that was quite a roaring.
Things getting a little bit too merry in the system. I think that there's too much drink flowing.
Too rowdy.
And it echoed.
Okay, cool. And then I'm going to re-roll 1 2 3. So that's 1 pair, and then re-roll 3d6 again. So I've got 2 pair, 5 high, and I've got 3 of a kind as well. So tell me who wins.
Me.
Elias.
You win, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I suppose at this point you take the pot, which is 4 of you, so 8 silver pieces, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So you scoop the pot. Say again.
2 of those are put in. So I got.
So you take the pot, and you can see all the other soldiers like counting coins among themselves and like handing it to each other, and like muttering, and like more drink starts flowing, and it's getting sort of more and more merry, and Sparrox is kind of like telling people like keep it down. You're meant to be hiding here.
Ask Sparrox if there's a way to get out of here that doesn't involve wading through shit.
Of course, my friend, we've got our own entrances anyway. So he motions to one of the corridors which leads off the cistern.
Adair asks if there's a meeting point for hunters other than here.
You're asking Sparrox's, right?
Yeah.
Well, he says to you, the Grom's Antiques is the place. That's our contact, and that's where we tend to meet.
Adair nods.
I think we should drink and be merry and stay here tonight if there's room for us, and then we'll get going in the morning.
Yeah, Adair would like to recover a little bit. The liquor's helping, but a bit of rest would be good.
Sure. Well, you can rest here. You can do basically essentially what amounts to a long rest, which is regaining your hit points. You can eat. You can make merry. You can relax while you're here, and then head off back to the surface tomorrow morning. Is there anything else that you'd like to do? I mean, you're resting up. You're drinking at this point. Breaker and Elias, like, you tell me how inebriated you are at this point. And bearing in mind, Adair and Yuey, you're like observing these two going at dice and like getting more and more inebriated. So you tell me.
Elias is partial to dice, but not so partial to drink. He doesn't get too out of hand.
You didn't think you could see Breaker being friendly? and happy. But this is his happy place. He missions off into a dark corridor eventually to take a piss, and falls down and passes out.
As is his habit.
Yeah, it seems to happen a lot with Breaker.
Adair asks, because at this point Adair's in like rags and doesn't have anything, and asks if there is any spare equipment or spare garments that she can borrow or
So
take.
you're asking Sparaxis, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Sparaxis says to you, well, of course. What do you need from us?
Some armor or any sort of clothing would be great.
So he leads you to essentially there's like sort of a cache of equipment that's leaning up against one of the walls of the cistern. There's a mix of all sorts of things. There's like bronze breastplates, sort of Corinthian style helmets, short sort of stabbing swords, tower shields. Imagine sort of Roman legionnaire equipment. There's like a real mix of different things. So you pretty much have a pick of equipment. So you can choose various bits and pieces. It doesn't seem like they're precious about the equipment. They're happy to hand it out to anybody who's part of their cause, really. So
So druids have some restrictions on what they can wear and wield. They won't wear any armor or use shields made of metal.
Yeah. So if there's any leather or hide or
sure, absolutely,
anything.
Yep, there's sort of kurbuli, if that's the way that you pronounce it. That sort of boiled leather, like lamella that you can wear on your torso. There's wooden shields. There's sort of small round wooden shields. So again, you've got your pick. So really, if you want a sort of small handy shield, that's there. And in terms of weaponry, what would Adair use or want?
I don't think any weapons. I already have a sword. Might be malevolent, but taking a shield.
Swords. Sorry, yeah, swords also aren't your thing.
Yeah.
If they've got like clubs or maces, quarterstaff.
I'm gonna keep it though, because I'm probably gonna see if the antique store will, if I can sell it to them.
Cool.
But I would like some armor if there is somebody. Oh,
yeah, it'd be the equivalent of like leather, studded leather. So
cool.
Is there anything that Yuey would like? Is Yuey going to ask as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So he's also feeling quite exposed. So he would pick out studded leather armor, and then like a smaller shield, like a buckler type shield, and then like a regular spear as well. And he sort of straps those items to his back. Was it so that the trident, did that sort of radiate like arcane energy, or was it a regular like weapon?
When you examine these items earlier, you absolutely think that there was something different about this trident, and it was not usual.
Yeah. So he's going to hold on to the trident in that case.
Okay. So is there anything else that you would like to do this evening while you're in this cistern before heading off in the morning?
So Yuey would like to talk to Sparax, and essentially ask. They heard the name Vitalian mentioned. So you'd like to inquire: is that the leader of the hunters, or is that someone who is opposed to us? Or
well, Vitalian is our patron. He was the second in command of the First Legion, and we think that his family is being held hostage, which is why he is accompanying Mercator the Faceless. But he has sent secret word to us that we need to rebel and rise up.
So he's currently allied with Mercator, but possibly is forced to do so.
We think under duress.
Then also Yuey motions Sparax like a bit to the side, and he asks him what the hunters or what his men, how they feel about the arcane arts.
So you're asking that question specifically, like, how do you feel about the arcane arts?
Oh,
Yeah. As society within the Dominion, as Yuey understands it, is very sort of anti-magic.
Like, hey, want to do some spells?
Like a trench coat. Get some spells. Well, Sparrow says to you, thanks for
So
a moment.
I want to
Mhm.
I want to perform a ritual. Would this frighten your men, or would that be allowed?
So he thinks for a bit. Personally, I don't mind magic, but I think that my men might be slightly perturbed if you were to practice these arcane arts around them. There's plenty of
Is
quiet
that-
spaces around the system.
Okay. So Yuey will thank Asparax and then find one of these spaces, and then he'll sit down on the ground, provided it's not wet. He will cross his legs, and then he will meditate and attempt to reach out to his patron.
Mm-hmm.
So he's holding out his arms, sort of in front of him like that. And if anyone were to observe this, I don't know if they are, but you can see sort of the outlines of a tome, like a book, begins to appear in front of him. So he'll spend an hour doing that to summon his essentially a tome of magic.
So is Yuey attempting to commune or communicate with his otherworldly patron?
Yes. So Yuey is a warlock, following the pact of the tome. So he can leverage this tome or this grimoire to cast certain spells. If Yuey loses the tome, he can commune with the patron to get it back, essentially, to summon another copy of this book of spells.
Okay. So you're spending the evening doing that, and
Yeah.
the rest of you, are you at this point, are you resting up?
Yeah.
So Yuey, this is routine for at this point for your character to commune with your otherworldly patron. So it for you it's relatively routine and it goes successfully, and you're attempting to re-summon essentially your tome, right?
Yeah. My book of shadows.
Okay, so of course that will succeed, and we'll say that that's what you're doing for the evening. So by the next morning, you would have regained that. While you're resting that evening, I'm going to need to speak to Adair. So if the rest of you please mute yourselves or take your headphones off and give me a thumbs up when you've done that.
Cool, and just give us a thumbs up when we can come back.
I will. So Adair, when you are resting this evening, as you begin to go to sleep, you hear a voice in your head. Something is speaking to you, and it says your name, Adair. You and I are now joined.
Obviously, Adair gets up in quite a bit of a shock and looks around, doesn't see anything, and then questions, "Who are you?"
All will be revealed in time. You and I have a journey together. All in time. And then it goes quiet.
Adair's quite freaked out by this. Actually, no. She's quite used to communing with otherworldly
Things.
I think so, because of I actually am not too sure, but yes. she goes back to resting up.
Okay. I wonder if the others are looking at the camera. So, the evening passes without incident for most of you. You're well rested the next morning. It is the 16th day of the month of Belas. As you rise from your slumber, what would you like to do? Are you heading out to the city?
Are we
Yeah.
all healed?
So healing, you have a certain number of hit dice, which you can spend when you take a long rest.
Mhm.
Who is damaged? Is it just Adair?
I've also got spell slots and things that also need to be replenished. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. So your spell stats will all get replenished. And then your hit dice, you'll see them on your character sheet under your hit points in the middle.
I thought a long rest, you could get all the hit points back.
Yeah, it's a long rest. You're thinking of a short rest, I think.
Does a long rest do all of them?
Yeah, I think the long
you
rest
should
is
get
fully
everything
healed,
back.
right?
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll say fully healed. You rested up. You're well fed. You've had drink. You're well rested in a safe place. We can just say that you're fully healed before you head out to the city. Is there anything else that any of you would like to do prior to heading out to the surface?
Nope.
No.
So Breaker, you are feeling rough, and everybody else, Breaker looks rough.
He joins
Okay.
the group.
So
Sorry.
go for it.
Would there have been like a brewer's kit or some alchemy supplies that I could have taken from the armory?
We can say that there's certainly alchemy supplies. Yes.
Okay. I took some alchemy supplies.
Okay, you grab some alchemy supplies. Is there anything else anybody else would want before leaving? Just as a last port of call.
Yeah, I want to refill my arrows. So I was down to D10. So
Okay.
I get some more, so I'm up to D12.
Sure. Okay, you replenish your arrows.
Break a nicks a bottle of something, and then heads out.
Hair of the dog. Okay, so would you like to head up to the surface?
Yeah.
Cool. So you return to the surface. Fresh air fills your lungs. The buildings in the city of Rupertum are made of wide stone bricks with large decorative arches. The roofs are sort of lazily sloped and topped with terracotta tiles. Doors tend to be made of heavy wood and ornately carved. The sort of windows are large and open and panelled with glass. For decoration, walls and ceilings are often painted with ornate styles or adorned with colourful mosaics. Flowers pour from pots lining balconies, and tall, slender cypress trees line the main roads. Although outwardly beautiful, the streets seem emptier. Many windows are shuttered, many doors are closed, and people seem to move more hurriedly and tend to look down as they walk. As you rise to the surface, into the streets of Rupertum, make me a perception roll, please, everybody in the party. Oh,
Natural 20 for Yuey.
I'm sorry.
Yuey, can you roll me a history as well, please? Did you also roll 20? Did you say Adair?
No, 17, but it went twice.
So 10 for history.
Guys,
Okay.
can you turn on the background?
Yeah, just do that now.
Cows are.
Like this particular section has got loads of cars. I have no idea why. Okay. So Yuey, you see if you go back and have a look at roll 20, the map of the city. I think that you're all on that. the local map of the city of Rupertum. So the eastern side of the city is actually raised up on a rock. It's known as the Stenatory Rock. And as you sort of rise into the streets, you can see, you notice it very clearly, sort of humanoid figures doing something on the top of a high cliff, which sort of drops off into the city below. You know that this is known as the Tarpeian Rock, which is used for executions.
So I point this out to the party. I say I think something's happening, and I motion sort of discreetly motion towards the rock. That is normally where executions are done.
And you can see masked figures, silver masks, and dark red shawls cover their head and neck, and they are marching people to the top of this rock. And as you can imagine what is happening, the nature of this rock, they're being cast off and dashed on jagged rocks below, executed by these masked guards.
I suggest we keep moving.
Very
Something's
grim,
not right in Rupertum.
very grim atmosphere in the city.
Adair says, how about Barrack? And then follows Yuey further.
So I think Yuey would know sort of the Senate Rock area quite well, as I would imagine sort of the academy would be in that kind of area.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's able, he'd take sort of the party not on the main roads, but sort of off into alleyways, sort of leading us towards Southgate as discreetly as possible.
So is Yuey marching in marching order? He's going to be in the front, is he?
I think he would, because he knows Rupertum so well. They sort of just assumes this sort of front position.
Breaker
And what are the rest of the party doing?
Breaker's at the back, hunched over, like because he has dark vision. I imagine that the sunlight is especially bad with the hangover. So it's just and just trudging along behind everybody.
And how about Elias and Adair?
Adair's quite new to the city, so she's trying to take it all in and looking around. Trying not to make eye contact with anyone specific, but just taking it all in.
So where exactly are you heading to? What are you doing?
I think we're heading to Southgate, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
To Grom's
Antiques.
Antiques, yeah.
Okay. So what you're trying to do, Yuey, is you're trying to like go through back alleys and stay away from main streets. Just stay away from any potential danger. Is that correct?
Yeah. So stay away from the masked individuals if I see any, and just sort of try to not draw attention to the group.
Okay. So the city streets are emptier than they were before, and as I said, you see people kind of furtively moving around the streets, and hurriedly moving, looking down at the ground. There's this real sort of grim atmosphere, very tense atmosphere, as you can imagine in the city. You sort of move down the alleyways, dart back and forward, vary your path through the back alleys of the city of Rupertum. And before long, you get close to the south wall and south gate. It takes you a little bit of time, but you manage to relatively easily locate the store known as Grom's Antiques.
We quickly head inside.
I think so.
Okay. So you head into Grom's Antiques. The interior of this store is sort of lined with all sorts of eclectic goods, various baubles, various items, all sorts of a random assortment of baubles, essentially. And you see a dwarven gentleman who is behind the counter, and he looks up as you approach. He's got a short grey beard and is dressed in a green tunic. He looks fairly well to do. Clearly, this individual, makes some good coin from this establishment. And as you walk in, he looks up at the party and he says, yous lot, was expecting you. Please do come in. And he pulls the door to as you enter the antique shop.
Mm-hmm. Adair probably says that I suppose what was his name? Gosh darn. Sparks mentioned us.
I did. Got a wee little message for you. I think that perhaps we should call the session there. What do you think?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, we can. Nice cliffhanger.
Awesome. So yeah, you're in Grom's Antiques. Actually, one thing you can do really quickly is I want from Elias and Breaker. Give me an intelligence roll, super quick.
16.
So you definitely recognize this individual. He looks very similar to a dwarf that you met in the city of Altirum, whose name was Gorm.
Mm.
You think this might be his brother, and he does seem to recognize you two in particular as you enter. But yeah, we'll leave the session there. I think that's a bit of a cliffhanger, and yeah, we can pick it up again in 2 weeks' time, right?
Awesome.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Cheers.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. See you again in 2 weeks.